Is it still possible to buy with little or no money down?
Yes.
How would you do it?
Oh, okay. Well, a couple of different ways. If it's a company like Jet or a company like Jet, you got to be buying them pretty deep. We give you the benefit of buying it deep because we're a loan to value lender, and there's 1,000 ways to take this conversation, but a lot of lenders are not loan to value lenders; they're loan to cost lenders. Most of the national lenders that I compete with are loan to cost lenders. We're a loan to value. The best way is just take an example. Let's say you buy a house, it's got an ARV. Everybody know what ARV is, after repaired value, of $200,000, and it needs $30,000 in work. Really quick, I can tell you just like that, I can loan you 110 at closing and 140 overall. How did I get there? 70% of 200,000 is 140. That's my maximum loan, locking me in at 70% loan to value. Take 30,000 off of that, 30,000 off the 140 because it needs 30 in work. 110,000 is my max advance to you at the closing table. So if you're buying that house for 90 to 104, you're probably walking to the table with zero out of pocket because you're underneath that threshold. If you're coming to the closing table paying and you paid 115 for that house, remember my max advance at closing is 110 in this example, that means you're bringing to the closing table 5,000 plus your closing costs to the table. So yes, we do, and it's very often that we do that. If you are a very strong client, strong meaning experience, credit, and cash reserves, I'll be straight up with you. We'll stretch to 75% loan to value with you often, and we do that often today. Even though that exceeds our 70% threshold, we do 75 often for if you meet those three categories. So it is possible. We do it. Another way, if you've got some great terms with a private lender, the private lender's probably willing to look at that situation to advance you 100%. Regional banks are very strong in our industry, but they're not going to give you 100%. But I do recommend that everybody have relationships with small regional banks. It's key to your success in this business, in my opinion. You're never going to get 100% loan to cost from a national lender. It's just not going to happen. So your regional hard money lenders, if you're buying at the right price, and your private money people in branch is a master at private money, and I know I may be stealing a little bit of his thunder here a little bit, but I know you can do that, and but that's how you would do it with no money out of pocket.
So, Brandon, are you still doing no money out of pocket deals?
That's pretty much all we do. Jimmy, do we do 100% finance? Yeah, for the most part we do, and private lenders do. But we have similar criteria as Eddie just mentioned, right? Like it's got to meet our criteria. But yeah, with private lenders, anything's really possible, and that's the good and the ugly side of private lending. So if some of you are out here are potential private lenders, you have to really be careful and know what you're doing, because I've seen so many ugly things arise from that, of doing loans that they shouldn't have done, that they didn't know how to underwrite, or didn't know how to really screen and analyze that borrower, or screen and analyze the deal, and they get themselves hurt. So there are tons of no money down deals going on all the time, but you got to be careful. I forgot to finish too earlier. I said that Robert Allen book that I saw in end of 2006. I got to hang out with Robert Allen this weekend. It was kind of funny. Have dinner with him. We sat together and just had a great time and evening. I was like, it all started back when I saw that book, No Money Down. Anyway, so you absolutely can. And that's what drew me to real estate, right? So when I was just like burned out, I hated my job, I didn't know what else to do, right? And I was looking at business books. I went to a couple workshops on this kind of stuff, and pretty much everything I saw needed money. You need to have money or skin in the game, or you got to go get an SBA loan or something. You got to have some money, and I didn't have any money. I've always had great credit, right? And I've always maintained that. And like Eddie said, you want to have a backup plan with your local bank so you can exit out of it. And I've always had great credit, but I didn't have money. So that's what drew me to real estate, was the creative side of it. You can do no money down deals, but they got to be good deals. That's the critical part. Because they're not a good deal, you're just setting yourself up to lose.
You know, to reach the summit, which we're all we're all wanting to do, and I know Brant would agree with me here, and Chris too. You got to have more than one pony to ride. You know, you need a really go-to hard money lender. You need some private people to go to. You need a regional bank in your corner. I mean, you got to have more than one pony to ride here. You really do, to do everything that you want to do.